This was always going to be a year about blocking and tackling issues, processes and systems, new behaviors and protocols. I'd say our company culture is the best, feels like it's the best it's been in years. I think this was a great exercise to just check yourself and remind yourself of what your priorities are. And the great thing about halftime is there's an entire rest of the game to be played in 2023.
Strong companies, lasting partnerships, powerful events. Welcome to the Experience Builders Podcast.
Chris, I'm getting out my stopwatch because we're going to go through some rapid fire.
Okay, love these.
We're about halfway through the year, 2023.
Yes.
And everything has gone as planned. And so we're just going to tell everybody, remind them what the plan was and tell them how everything has gone to plan, right?
Has it gone as planned? Are you looking at the same reel?
No, we're not looking. We're not looking at the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
No, this will be fun.
No,
so just for the setup, I'm going to ask 10 questions. I'm going to give you 90 seconds, give or take, to answer the question. And it's just going to be about how 2023 has gone so far.
Okay. Fire away.
All right, let's do it. Question number 1, clock starts. Personnel. How is personnel so far in 2023? How's the talent market? Are you fully staffed? What's it looking like?
Great question. That's major priority for us this year. No, not fully staffed. Love the development of the people we have. This was always going to be a year about blocking and tackling issues, processes and systems, new behaviors and protocols. So my personnel that exists has been really developing well for that. Still not finding all the positions, the tier 1 candidates we want. That said, my GM's getting on a plane tomorrow to go out to Las Vegas. We have a great candidate, not from our industry, that we're interviewing. And we have a workshop next week on writing some ads on the other 4 positions that we're looking at. So number 1 priority is still personnel development and filling the gaps this year.
Love it. Look at you. 60 seconds, less than 60 seconds.
Dude,
let's go to the next one.
Pressure.
How has cash flow been?
Cash flow's been good. I still find myself wonder, you and I were just on a different podcast, and our guest had talked about how we feel like we're coming up on our pre-pandemic summer slowdown. And while nobody roots for that, we do know that July and probably August are going to be less robust than what we've experienced for the last year. So expect to see cash flow turn negative for a couple of months. That's not unexpected. We're doing everything we can to make sure we come out of it in September strong and robust, because the fall does look good for us. So cautiously optimistic. This will be a short-lived blip.
Good. Cautiously optimistic. Okay. Question number 3. What are your key areas of investment for CrewXP in the rest of 2023?
Oh, great question. Still no question. Personnel, facility. For a year, we've been planning on expansion. There's a part 2 expansion. We're doubling our space in Las Vegas. We knew going in, we were only going to get half last October. We get the rest of it this October. So big investment there. There'll be some equipment investment that comes with that, but personnel is still the thing I'm looking at as the biggest investment for the rest of this year.
Good deal. Question number 4. I want to know how well you did in the last 6 months of working in the business versus on the business. What percentages would you give to each of those?
Man. Okay. And so this is where I'm going to give you some massive rationalizations, and I'm hoping you're going to make me feel good. I wake up every day. I walk around. All I think about is the business and working on the business. But as I'm in the weeds now with, as you know, right, this was our year for really building back processes and systems. And because we're a different company, we've expanded and refocused our offering a little bit differently. I am actively in the weeds on helping to develop what those protocols are and making sure the behaviors are lining up accordingly. So I see that as working on the business, Khalil. You might tell me that's working in the business, but I'm not a guy that's literally on a project by project basis. I'm really working on the things that that are making sure the projects are going smoothly in terms of behaviors. How's it? How does that?
I think I think that qualifies. Will
Yes.
qualify it as working
Okay.
on for sure. So
Cool.
you've mentioned processes and systems in addition to personnel. What are some of the processes and systems that you've been developing so far this year, and how is that going?
Okay. So it was great. So we just finished. I told you this mid-year meeting where we had our 15 top people in. And I think over 2 days, so total of 16 hours to tackle subjects, but I think I'm remembering 3 instances where it turned into a bit of a scrum in the training classroom where and I just let it happen because you've got operations people are, not arguing, but just passionately defending what the priorities need to be. For example, we have 3,000 aluminum frames and hundreds of other custom tables that are in a software and an inventory system. Do we barcode it? Do we not barcode it? How do we move things in and out? What are the return inspection procedures? Um, Even talk about pricing. What are the what are these? Is this the right look? Should we be updating the look of some of our physical inventory? This is the stuff that that I'm watching unfold, and I'm really not the guy to decide that. I think in large part the operations leadership, project managers are speaking to what they know better what our customers are asking for and needing. So, um, sorry, I just sort of rode that right off the rails of what the original question was, but I think I answered it kind of. Did I?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you're there. We'll qualify it. So
Okay.
let's go to the next one because that was you're riding up right on the 90 seconds there. So we got to keep moving.
Yeah.
So new business development. How are we doing on getting new customers, not
Mm.
just new projects from existing customers?
Okay. So the great, yeah, has to happen, right? And we are really
Hmm.
busy with our existing clients. But so the good news is this we are getting new customers. I still think we're doing that way too much on a reactionary basis. In other words, people are chasing us. We
Mm.
need to get back to a point where we're just more proactive about targeting and talking to the partners, the potential partners that we want to. And again, we seem to be so busy. We're just not we're not as proactive as I like. But listen, if I got to have a problem, I'll take that one any day of the week. But that's I'm looking for us to do better on the proactive biz dev efforts in the second half of the year.
Okay. Let's move into another part of the build back for you and investing into your company culture, not just in the personnel.
Yeah.
How is that going so far?
Uh, Really well. I'd say our company culture is the best. It feels like it's the best it's been in years.
Hmm.
We've had such an extraordinary first 2 quarters. We finished we are year to date. This is just measuring by revenue. We're up 61% over the same period last year. And so when everybody's that busy, I worry that are we making sure to celebrate the victories together? Are we, we used to have a thing that we did called Thirsty Thursdays that we'd run up to the pub up the street after work and just grab a pitcher and just catch up on each other's families and stuff. And I've noticed we've skipped a few of those as people are traveling and people are busy and I know that's just a thing, but we're really doing a good job of checking on each other. We're not sweating who's coming and going, what time you're in, what time you're out. Our results are clearly there, and so um, I I like the level of attentiveness that coworkers are giving each other without being asked. So that's maybe the biggest thing that I can point to about this is a caring group that seems to really enjoy being working with each other, being around each other. So
Hmm.
big win on that.
Okay. This question's about the upcoming half of the year.
Yeah.
How are you forecasting? What are you seeing? What are you expecting?
So it's been really obviously during pandemic, but even I'd say 2018 and 2019, Khalil, lead times have gotten so short. Um, our industry, the builders, were all so good at producing last minute. I mean, just the business model I have back then, we had trouble forecasting beyond 3 weeks or 4 weeks. It just was impossible. This might be because we seem to be choosing a more upmarket, sort of a better customer for us, which is bringing better projects. But we are right now. I'm looking at $1 million of work that's been quoted for October shows. I'm looking at a very active September. We've got stuff as far out as well. Actually, we've got stuff into Q1 and Q2 next year, and it's been a long time. So I feel like the ability to forecast in terms of the work is better. And then add we have better dashboard tools that are helping us stay on top of that and better systems. So we're talking about it every week. We have a new opportunity meeting every week. It's quick. It's to make sure we're aware of new opportunities that are coming in, and that's where forecasting begins, right?
Very good. Okay, question number 10. I want to know on a personal level, how is the home life, work-life balance?
So it's good. And so a lot happening at home. Getting ready to launch daughter number 2 back to college. She's taking some summer stuff. And so, a matter of fact, she left today back to her apartment over in Tampa. But then I'm back over there next month to pick her up. I got to store her stuff for 2 or 3 weeks before she moves into her next place. My wife and I just purchased. We're in escrow right now for an investment house, a rental house over in the Anna Maria Island area. As you know, that's our happy place. So that's giving she and I something to talk about. It's not a fixer-upper. I don't have to rip out walls or tiles. But there is some work to get that ready and online. And selfishly, what we get out of that will be 3 or 4 months of personal use throughout the year. So we're hoping that will add to our work-life balance. But and then my oldest daughter, Delaney, is school and work and enjoying it, teaching in a Montessori. So when they're happy, I'm happy.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. You didn't know this one beforehand.
Okay.
If there was one thing that could be accomplished or fulfilled in the next 6 months of 2023 that would just leave you satisfied, what would that one thing be?
Great question. I just celebrated the 30th anniversary of my 29th birthday. So I'm closing in on a milestone. So I would say it's probably just making sure I'm in a better routine in terms of my own health and wellness. And I feel okay right now, but I just know that there is a lot going on, and making sure I'm taking the time to, put the right stuff in my mouth and get up and enjoy the 2-mile walks with my wife in the morning, and, somehow improving my pickleball game because that gets the cardio going. So, and enjoying the people that I'm doing that with. So I think that's it. Next 6 months, I'd like to see my greatest strides come on that side of the equation. So
it's a great answer.
Well, because I know Eva's listening, and she wants to hear me say these things. Love you, honey. This was for you. Okay.
There you go. Well, you did it. 11 rapid fire questions.
That was fun.
Well done.
I appreciate you doing that. So. Well, and again, if I would encourage our experience builders listeners, if you don't do something like that, even with your business partner or your leadership team, I think this was a great exercise to just check yourself and remind yourself of what your priorities are. I didn't know some of these questions. I could anticipate what Khalil was going to ask me, but really, really good thing. And the great thing about halftime is there's an entire rest of the game to be played in 2023, right? So
absolutely,
this is what the greats do. They come in and they look and they say, we're killing it. Let's just go do more of it. Or, these are your times to make adjustments. So really, I appreciate the exercise, Khalil. This was a good.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. And from all experienced builders and myself, happy 30th anniversary to your 29th birthday.
You know what? I'm going to need a protractor and a Gantt chart if we make that any more of a math equation. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you around, Chris.
All right, pal. See you.
Thanks for listening to the Experienced Builders Podcast. Check out our website in the show notes or visit crewxp.com to learn more.